action.
A historical night that shocked America. Now, students are joining various initiatives to fight changes under the Trump administration.
A flaw in Obamacare that was preventing millions of people from getting health insurance because there was a mistake in the definition of what affordable was.
A heated healthcare debate over controversies surrounding Obamacare. Students talk about possible plans of action for the administration.
And partying takes a deadly turn.
Imposing an indefinite interim suspension on all fraternities.
Greek life shut down at Florida State University after a student pledge dies just days before homecoming celebration.
Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Carlin Dickerson.
And I'm Brianna Ross. NewsVision starts now.
Live from the UMTV studios, this is NewsVision.
Greek life is all about having fun and serving the community. But at Florida State University, Greek life is now suspended indefinitely after the death of one student. Here at UM, our own reporter Tommy Fletcher is live from the university's frat row to tell us more. So Tommy, what happened over at FSU and how is it affecting us here at UM?
Well, students here and all around UM are responding to the complete ban of Greek life at Florida State University. This ban comes after the death of a Phi Kappa Pi fraternity pledge who was 20 years old. He died on Friday morning after attending a party Thursday night. Authorities say they believe alcohol was involved in his death but are still awaiting the results of an autopsy. Here at UM, students involved in Greek life say that they believe the death is unfortunate, but also they believe that the suspension at FSU is necessary.
Made the best decision that they could at the time. Being part of Greek life here, it's devastating to see in other schools Greek life go through something as tragic as a death or being shut down in response to something that happened.
It stinks at schools like FSU that this has to happen and give our fraternities a bad look all around the nation.
I don't think they should take Greek life off of FSU's campus for good. I think they should give them the opportunity to earn the trust back.
At FSU, all Greek life events, including chapter meetings, philanthropy events, and tailgates, are suspended. However, students who are living in frat or sorority houses will be allowed to stay for now. The president of Florida State University says he does not know when the suspension will end, but believes that Greek life on his campus must change.
For this suspension to end, there will need to be a new normal for Greek life at the university. There must be a new culture for our students, and they must participate in creating that culture.
Here at UM, Greek life organizations have faced similar restrictions. However, UM has never issued a complete ban on Greek life organizations on campus. Most recently, Greek organizations here face the suspension of tailgates at lots 9 and 10 at Hard Rock Stadium. Vice President for Student Affairs Pat Whiteley says that ban will be reevaluated at the end of the current football season. We've reached out to UM administrators for comments on FSU's ban, but have not heard back. Outside Frat Row for UMTV, I'm Tommy Fletcher. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Tommy. And speaking of bans, transgender rights have been widely debated for years in politics. Most recently, the Trump administration announced its intention to ban transgender members from serving in the military. This week, I met with one transgender woman who came to UM to share her own journey into acceptance.
Join me in welcoming Abby Stein.
Abby Stein knew by the age of 6 that she was a girl trapped in a male body.
Geographically, I grew up in New York City.
But unlike some transgender people, Abby had to go through more than one transition.
Culturally, I grew up in a pretend 18th century Eastern Europe.
Her family belongs to an ultra-Orthodox Hasidic Jewish community in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. She didn't have access to movies, music, or the internet.
I didn't know trans people exist until I did one of the worst things that I ever did when I was 20, and I went online.
Further research opened her eyes to the possibility of who she could be. But she had to leave behind everything she had ever known to do so.
I came out to my father in November 11th, 2015. Didn't really go that well. And then I came out publicly the day after that and haven't looked back ever since.
As Abby continued her transition, America was in the middle of its own.
The President of the United States.
The National Center for Transgender Equality refers to President Trump's administration as the Discrimination Administration. Their website cites over 20 actions taken against the LGBTQ community since Trump's inauguration, including Trump's transgender military ban tweets and the Census Bureau's removal of gender identity as a subject from the 2020 census. A study done by the American Public Health Association estimates that 1 in every 250 adults is transgender. That's 1 million Americans.
A year has passed. Fortunately enough, I think we have managed to put up a fight.
And one University of Miami alumnus knows how.
Bang the pots and pans and say you're not going to get away with ignoring this.
Jeremy said he relates to Abby because he's also a Jewish transgender person.
It is fundamental for people to hear the experiences of trans people from trans people.
Abby has a different idea, though.
We got to get rid of the entire executive branch. Not as the executive branch has to stay, but like the people in there right now, unfortunately, I don't see a way of dealing with them.
Instead, Abby recommends showing up to the state and local polls, like the ones held on November 7th. Virginia elected their first transgender state legislator, Danica Roem. But regardless of the votes, Abby admits her main tactic is to never shut up.
No matter what's happening, no matter who is in charge, we're not giving up.
Carlin Dickerson reporting for UMTV.
The transgender ban is one of many controversial issues that the Trump administration is dealing with. It's been 1 year since Donald Trump was elected the 45th president of the United States, and millions of Americans are still reflecting on what he has and has not accomplished in his first year in office. Our reporter JP Aguirre spoke with some students about their stances on one campaign promise that the current administration is still struggling to accomplish.
That's right, guys. This past Wednesday, exactly 1 year after President Trump's election, the UM College Democrats and the College Republicans had a debate of their own on healthcare at the Whitten Learning Center. I went and spoke to UM students to gain their perspective on both sides of the argument.
What the American people want is us to work together to build on and improve the Affordable Care Act.
I believe it's the end of health care as we know it. I think it will bankrupt the country.
Health care has been a hotly contested issue since President Trump's election. The administration's latest attempt to repeal Obamacare was the Graham-Cassidy bill, which is opposed by members from both political parties because it had the potential of uninsuring up to 18 million Americans by 2019 and would lose millions of dollars in funding. Here at UM, students got to participate in the university's own healthcare debate, where both sides contested current plans as well as their own proposals.
We propose that the Family Coverage Act be passed to close the family glitch.
We believe the best solution to the healthcare crisis is the free market, its innovation, and smart local governments.
According to Kyrie McCloskey of the Democrat team, they would keep Obamacare, which currently provides more insurance to people with lower incomes, but expand on certain areas.
So our proposal was, there were 7 additions that we made to Obamacare. Some of them were expanding Medicaid to all 50 states, and we also wanted to close the family glitch, which was a flaw in Obamacare that was preventing millions of people from getting health insurance because there was a mistake in the definition of what affordable was.
With the current plan, affordable means families who can't afford to pay up to 8% of their household income for insurance will be exempt from the fee to get coverage. But for Republicans like Randy Fitzgerald, when each state has a different idea for what its insurance coverage should be, a nationwide umbrella insurance plan isn't the best solution.
One thing that I emphasized a lot and that our team emphasized a lot was that states should have the right to implement things as they see fit. And that's really people having the right to legislate as they see fit through their elected local representatives who are most responsive to them. That's why we emphasized a state-by-state plan and not one big national solution that's a one-size-fits-all, because America's big and it's beautiful and it's diverse and it's not one-size-fits-all.
Despite their differences, both teams believe that having debates in an open forum is the best way to move forward.
It's really important that we have this discussion on college campuses because a lot of people don't really know in depth about these issues, and having a debate like this is the perfect way to help them understand what the positions of the Democrats and Republicans are.
The Graham-Cassidy bill failed to get passed on the September 30th deadline. The next time the Senate will be able to vote on the new health care bill will be next year. I'm JP Aguirre, back to you at the desk.
Thanks, JP. I think it's really interesting how civically engaged people are on campus, even still a year after the election.
Yeah, I totally agree, and it's also so important since the midterm elections are coming around soon.
Exactly.
But for now, we have a lot more to get to when we come back.
Men is my life. It's my passion.
You could say they're the most committed fans of Hurricane sports. They're at every game, cheering and pumping up the crowd.
We'll tell you what makes these students so passionate when we come back.
The next 30 seconds can save you a lot of money. Just do your laundry in cold and stick to full loads. Auto-sleep your computers. Plug your gadgets in a power strip and switch it off when you're done. Headed out? Turn back your thermostat by 10 degrees. And drive sensibly. The more energy you save, the more money you save. Find other great tips at energysaver.gov.
Kane Talks features some of the University of Miami's leading thinkers in education and the community. And this week, the talk welcomed an organization that is breaking barriers here at the School of Communication. UMTV's Rebecca Chung joins us now. Rebecca, how has this new program taken the learning experience beyond the classroom?
Thank you, Brianna. Breaking down educational barriers. That's the motto of the newest class at the School of Communication. Orange Umbrella gives students the opportunity to learn through interactive real-world experiences before they graduate.
Eyes and ears wide open as students present their latest projects, but these projects are not the ordinary research paper, and their classroom is not the average lecture hall.
A group of professors here in the School of Communication had formed a committee because they, along with the dean, knew that it would be highly beneficial to have a group of students giving their services to paying clients. Over the course of a few months, we grew to 15 students, over 10 clients, and we formalized a name, Orange Umbrella.
Orange Umbrella has been part of the School of Communication for 4 months and has already made its mark. The interactive edge of the program has made it the newest feature in a series of University of Miami Kane Talks. But the real talk starts outside the classroom.
One of the greatest things you'll hear across any industry is get an internship as a student. You're looking for hands-on, real-life experience. They want to know that you've made mistakes, that you've learned from them.
There's a lot of room for bettering oneself because you have a lot of freedom. So you have to get things approved depending on your role, but you can pick your clients and you can pick who you want to work with. So it's not like a class where you're given a rubric and you have to follow those instructions.
Students aim to provide clients with fresh ideas, but some clients leave a lasting impression on the organization itself, like Miami-Dade Urban Debate League, an organization that aims to give underprivileged students a voice.
The Urban Debate League has been not only something special to myself, but has also been something special for others who have engaged in it already. Last year, in our second year of the Urban Debate League, we reached 100% of participants also applying to college. With being able to have students sign up over Snapchat, donate online, and recreating the website that is currently in place will allow for us to get the proper donations that are necessary to run tournaments.
Our breadth is so wide, which mirrors what the School of Communication is really all about. They house under one umbrella all of these skills and talents that can provide any range of services.
And some students find that the biggest reward in learning comes from experience.
Whenever that idea clicks and you finally are able to solve the initial brief or the initial ask that the client gave you, you sort of get this feeling in your head, and there's nothing better than seeing the same feeling happen to the client.
It is one of the richest ways to educate students and those that are willing to get their hands dirty and work with clients and collaborate.
If you would like to be a part of Orange Umbrella, you can apply online at orangeumbrellamiami.com. Applications are open until the end of November. Now back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Rebecca. While the teams take a break for halftime during a game, this team of students comes out to play. Our reporter Erica Orstad tells us more.
Where I'm standing right now is where UM's Band of the Hour spends hours a week practicing for the shows they put on for game days. It's a full-time commitment, but for band members, it's just another day in the life.
Band is my life. It's my passion. We're such a big part of the university. Without a band, who would play at the football games? Who would march?
It's definitely worth the time commitment.
I'm Julia Gorordo. I am Dora Pagan.
I'm PJ Chamont.
And we are the Band of the Hour. Okay, so this is my life, and this is band. It's just being a part of something greater than yourself, and then making everyone happy by doing it.
Preparing for a game day, that starts days before. You have to keep yourself healthy, you have to hydrate, eat right.
Sometimes we'll have to do the same move 11 times, just over and over again, nope, do it again, nope, do it again, do it again. It's very intense, it's very high stakes, it's very we're expected to do it right.
No matter what happens, whether the team's winning, whether the team's losing, whether it's a close game, whether we're blowing them out, we're getting blown out, you always have to have that intensity, that energy, because you're pretty much the energy for the rest of the school.
That is really intense and kind of grueling, but in the end, it's all worth it when you step out onto the field and you finish an amazing show. We all are combined by blood, sweat, and tears. To be in the Band of the Hour is basically to be in this family unit. It's definitely a unique bond because we all go through this together.
We spend a lot of time in band, definitely, but actually all my best friends are in band.
We're all so used to being on a field and practicing that it doesn't, at least to me, it doesn't really feel like anything until you hear people yelling, and then you all of a sudden notice that you're in front of 50,000 people. It's really cool. It's such a beautiful connection that we have with each other. We all know that we did amazing at the end of a show, and it's just amazing. It's beautiful.
You know, Brianna, that really made me want to join the band.
Yeah, I always see them at the games, and they get me nice and pumped with their music, so I'm definitely a fan. Definitely a fan. And speaking of school spirit, it's a great season to be a Miami Hurricane. From Miami basketball to football, the Canes are looking to start and end their seasons on high notes.
That, and the Hurricanes football team is about to play their biggest game of the season so far. Details after a short break.
Miami, you are clear to take off.
Thanks for staying with us. I'm your meteorologist, Shane Hinton. Beautiful day we have outside. Right now, currently sitting at 81. We want to go ahead and jump into our weather headlines because we got a lot for you. We do officially have a La Nina advisory for us, meaning that our winter is going to be pretty dry and warm at the same time. I'm going to have your game day forecast, and we're also going to talk about a wet start to next week. As for tonight's forecast, low is going to be getting around 74 degrees, but mostly clear for all of you Grovers that are heading out for the evening. Now we're going to be taking our look into tomorrow, though. High is going to be reaching around 87 degrees with partly cloudy skies, winds blowing from the northeast direction around 14 miles per hour. Now, we're talking about that game day forecast. Now, everyone wants to know what's it going to be like for the game later this weekend. Well, 82 degrees for your high at 2 p.m. and then also tailgating weather going to be around 82 degrees as well. And then that kickoff time going to be around 77 degrees, mostly clear. Fantastic evening for all you Canes fans out there. Now, for that 7-day forecast, 87 degrees tomorrow once again for your high, 85 on Saturday. And that's going to be the story for the rest of the weekend. and starting off the next week, and that is when that rain is going to move in, both with 81 highs on Tuesday and Wednesday, lows reaching down into the mid-70s up until the beginning of Tuesday and Wednesday, where we're looking at lows roughly around 70 and then 66 degrees on Wednesday evening. That's all we have for your weather. Now let's go talk about some sports with Andrew.
Thanks, Shane. I'm sports reporter Andrew Blackman. Coming off big wins in sports across the board this last week, this weekend is going to be a busy and exciting one for Hurricane sports. Now let's get to it. The men's and women's basketball teams both kick off their seasons tomorrow at home. The women will play at 6 against Florida International, followed by the men's game at 8 against Gardner-Webb. The women come into the 2017 season ranked 24th in the Coaches Poll. Coach Katie Meyer will look to fill the void left by stars Adrian Motley and Jessica Thomas. And the men begin their season ranked 12th in the Coaches Poll. The team has 10 returning players from their 2017 tournament squad, including starters Bruce Brown, Anthony Lawrence, and Jaquan Newton. In other news, the university hosted a pep rally Wednesday night for the school's volleyball, football, and both of the basketball teams. The purpose of the event was to raise school spirit ahead of a loaded sports weekend. Head football coach Mark Rick took time to thank the fans for their contribution to his team's success this season. That's fine. The Cardiac Canes defeated Virginia Tech on Saturday night, keeping the Hurricanes on an 8-game winning streak this season. Let's take you back to some highlights of the big win. Number 10 Canes hosted 13th ranked Virginia Tech at Hard Rock Stadium, and now after a scoreless first quarter, Malik Rozier found Braxton Berrios for an 8-yard touchdown pass, and a few minutes later Travis Homer followed that up with a 64-yard touchdown run. Miami took a 14-3 lead into halftime, and that's all they would need to score. The defense was hungry to prove they were one of the best in the country, and the turnover chain came out in a big way. The Canes forced 4 turnovers throughout the game, 2 of which came in Virginia Tech's red zone. Miami ultimately cruised to a 28-10 victory. And the Catholics versus Convicts rivalry has been a moot point until this season. The Canes are looking to continue their win streak against Notre Dame this Saturday. UMTV reporter Brad Canfield was at the Rat for a game preview on Monday.
DJ Dallas in the game. Rozier steps up, escapes, and runs into the end zone, standing up.
As the number 7 Miami Hurricanes prepare for their primetime showdown against number 3 ranked Notre Dame this Saturday, some former Canes legends came out for a Q&A at the Rat. The event, hosted by Peter Ariz of Canes Insight, gave fans an opportunity to meet as well as ask questions for some of their favorite former players, such as 9-time Pro Bowler and Super Bowl champion Ed Reed, Super Bowl and national title winner Antrell Roll, and also national champion and former first-round draft pick DJ Williams. The questions asked by fans had former players reflecting on their careers, and DJ Williams even told us why he selected the U.
I want a piece of that. That, the thong song, a white helmet, and the Jay-Z Big Pimpin' video is why I'm here.
I caught up with one student and got his thoughts on the event.
Phenomenal. I'm a big Bears fan, so I got to meet Antrell Roll and DJ Williams. I got to grow up watching them play, so it was awesome to get to interact with them and to see how happy they were to meet me, who was a Bears fan. I thought that was so cool. Ed Reed was so nice, getting an autograph from him. I'm a big sports memorabilia and autograph guy, so it was really cool getting an autograph from him. But it's just cool to see guys that are who played at the top of the game. You know, they were in the NFL, and to be so down to earth. That's something as a sports fan that you always want to see. So it was really cool to interact with them on like a bro-to-bro basis.
Even former Notre Dame quarterback and pundit Brady Quinn was in attendance, and DJ Williams was able to tell us what his strategy was against Quinn.
And he was like, what should I do? I said, first play, go full speed and bust his shit.
And while the turnover chain was unable to make an appearance, the former players settled for more humble replicas. For UMTV, I'm Bradley Canfield.
Now Notre Dame is currently ranked as the 3rd best team in the country. Make sure to tune into the game at 8 on Saturday night at Hard Rock Stadium. ESPN's 3-hour morning show, College Game Day, will broadcast from campus ahead of the primetime matchup between Miami and Notre Dame. It's the first time the show will be live on the Coral Gables campus. The Canes haven't been featured on the show since 2001. The event will be open to the public, and the hype is absolutely through the roof. People can begin lining up at 5 a.m., but the gates to get into the College Game Day pit will open at 6:30. Now I know I will be there, and I hope to see all of you there too. That's all I have for sports. Now let's send it back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Andrew. I will definitely be showing some school spirit and supporting our team at College Game Day. What about you?
Yep, me too. And after a short break, we'll tell you about another UM celebration with plenty of spirit, excitement, and even a little magic. Don't go away.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Okay, Simon, what do people wear?
Clothes.
That's right, so it's important to learn how to dress yourself. Here's how it's done. Shirt, underwear, pants, socks, shoes. Underwear, always first, name tag on the back. Then pants and shirt. Go ahead and put this on. Now with the shirt, you want to make sure the first button's right or you have to start all over again, okay? Socks left on left, right on right. Tying the shoes, we're going to take the laces, we're going to cross them over, we're going to turn around where the bunny goes down in the hole, pull it tight, and bunny ears. Got it?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
The next 30 seconds can save you a lot of money. Just do your laundry in cold and stick to full loads. Auto-sleep your computers. Plug your gadgets in a power strip and switch it off when you're done. Headed out? Turn back your thermostat by 10 degrees. And drive sensibly. The more energy you save, the more money you save. Find other great tips at energysaver.gov.
As Andrew mentioned earlier, the Canes football team faces another matchup this weekend to continue its undefeated season. And students are doing whatever they can to support the team. Reporter Robin Shapiro takes us to the famous Hurricane Howl that took place last weekend.
The UM campus lit up with excitement as the Canes celebrated their homecoming following a 7-0 football season. Hundreds of alumni, students, and friends gathered to watch Hurricane Howl 2017 on Friday, November 3rd. The vice chair of the homecoming committee said the victory fit perfectly within this year's theme, the magic within you.
I think we really captured the spirit of the University of Miami and how we all bring something magical to this school and how this school in return gives magic to each student and alumni alike.
Stanford Circle flooded with people as they watched the energetic homecoming parade march down the street. Famous UM personalities such as Sebastian, President Frank, the Band of the Hour, and the Maniac hyped up the crowd with UM spirit. Carnival rides were on the green for kids and students to enjoy.
This is the first year that I get to really enjoy the time with my kids. They are 3 and 4 years old, and they are loving all of the setup for the kids.
Food trucks for grilled cheese, barbecue, and other delicious snacks were parked nearby Richter Library for easy access during the festivities. Lake Osceola sparkled with orange and green as students and alums gathered to watch the traditional boat burning. As the UM tradition says, if the mast falls before the boat sinks, then the Canes will win the game, and that's exactly what happened. The Canes beat Virginia Tech 28-10. The spectacular fireworks filled the skies and music played as the audience gazed at the magical display. The party continued after hours as alums filled the UC patio, catching up with old friends and enjoying the UM traditions.
I came back this weekend for my grand little for my sorority's wedding, and it just happened to be for homecoming weekend as well. So I brought my husband down for the first time, and I've been showing him around to show him all the great traditions here at Miami before we go watch one of my friends from college get married tomorrow.
For many freshmen, this was their first UM homecoming.
And we love it so far.
We loved it. No,
amazing.
It was amazing.
Such a great experience.
I cried a little.
That was UMTV reporter Robin Shapiro, and it looked like so much fun. Did you go to the homecoming parade?
I did, yeah. I went to the fireworks and the boat burning, and I went to the game, and I'm super excited for the game this week.
Oh, me too. I will definitely see you there.
Yeah.
But that's all the time we have for today's show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Don't forget to tune in again next week. From all of us on NewsVision, have a good night.